So I wanted to share with you a project that I've been working on. So I had all these old family pictures and I wanted to do something with them. I don't really have any more wall space. So then I was looking at the shelf and I was like, this is perfect. It has little cubbies and I will take each cubby and make it a set of people or an individual. So I first started off with my dad and then his parents and his siblings when he was little. Now I just use frameless frames. You can get them kind of in bulk on Amazon, or if you go to Michael's, they have them. And then because I'm making this collage, I didn't want them flat. So I have taken little pieces of wood and I have cut them down and glued them to the back of the frames. And I will show you that when I show you how to assemble them. And then the photos, I did scan them all. I did that anyway because I was going to put them into an album, but I also wanted digital copies so I can share it with people. And then I also got a lot of these photos from a cousin because my aunt had them. My grandparents passed away a long time ago. My grandma was alive and passed away when I was 9. My grandfather passed away when my father was young. So my aunts had a lot of these pictures, and then I had a cousin who shared them with me. And I am very grateful for that because I never seen any of these pictures before. I didn't know very much about my grandfather, so it was been a really nice project. And to see pictures of my dad when he was little. I didn't have any of that growing up either. And then I have one section here I took of my husband's parents, and then another one of his sister and her family, and then I have these two left. I'm going to do one of my mom and then one of her parents and her brother when they were little. So I'll take you over and show you how I assembled them. Okay, so this is where I'm going to show you how to assemble them. Like I said, I'm using frameless frames that you can get on Amazon or at Michael's. And then I got the pictures printed online. There's a few really good websites that do professional quality pictures, but you don't have to. You can go to any of your local places and get pictures printed off. And then I wanted some of them to have some depth, so I went to Home Depot, and in the wood section, in the doll section, they have these little squares. And then I cut them down, and then I'm going to glue them to the frame. Now I'm using a kind of fast drying glue just so I didn't have to wait so long for the glue to dry. And this was, a fun way to put up pictures and to have pictures of your family that aren't just like sitting in an album. To me, that's no good. If I'm not looking at them or if I'm not using them, it's not worth it for me. It is nice to have it in, pictures in books or, now on your phone or digitally. But then I really wanted to be able to look at these every day. So then I'm using double-sided tape, and I'm just cutting little strips, putting them in the back. Now I do have to say, you have to be careful where you are going to put these, because the double-sided tape, you do want to get strong enough ones where they are going to hold the picture frame, but they are notorious to pull off the paint. Where I'm putting them, it's actually a wood wall, so I don't really have to worry about it. It is permanent. But here you go. I have the little wood blocks, nice and secure, double-sided tape. And take the time to lay it out. So in the beginning, I took a lot of time to figure out, what size picture frames I wanted and that will work in that space, what looked good. Now I do have a little bit of experience doing different collages around the house, which maybe I'll share later on. But, I took some time, figured out how to lay it out, and I'm kind of using the same pattern. I did change it around in some of them with just different pictures and how they would look. And, it's kind of, I enjoy doing this, and just take the time. Now I'll show you how I'm going to put them on the wall. So now it's time to assemble them. So make sure your wall is nice and clean, and you can take out your measuring tape and kind of figure it out. Since I'm using the same layout that I've already used, it makes it a little easier. I am not a person that gets the tape measure out, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the picture frames themselves to help me get everything level. So I kind of figure out where the center is. Okay, so this is my bottom layer. So I lay them out. I can kind of see that the gap here is about even, and here that this is in the center. So I'm going to start with this picture, and then you also kind of make sure that this looks pretty good in here. So I'm going to start with this big picture. So I just take the double-sided tape and take off the little covers, and then since you're using these frames to lean it on, it helps keep it level. And all I'm going to do is kind of make sure that they're even in the center. And so I'm not going to stick it close to the wall until I kind of feel like it is center. And then you just stick it. And then the same thing with these. You're going to take the paper off. Again, make sure, I'm going to rest it on just one of these picture frames, and then I'm going to kind of center it and push it on. And then the same thing with this one. We've got the picture frame. I'm going to lean it up against it, not too close to the wall. Get in there and make sure the distance is about the same. Push it on. Then my next ones are these square ones. So that's all secure. Here's my other ones. Then the next ones are these square. So I'm just gonna take them, make sure that there is enough space. You might want to, You know, take your picture frame, use it because you're using it kind of as your spacer. Put it up here. You're gonna put it up against it, and then, you know, make sure it's all level. And you're gonna stick it on there. And then you pull your frame out. And I can kind of see that maybe this is a little crooked. Put it on there. And then you can come in with the middle one, kind of center it. One. Put it up. Stick it. Take the square one. Then we've got this last one. Okay, so then you can, come down and look. Are you happy with that? Do you feel that, you can, I think maybe this one is slightly off. And it seems like you have a little bit of wiggle room. You come back and you take a look. And I'm pretty happy with that. It's getting down to the basics, making it simple. It's a great way to display pictures.